Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to continue the 30-day LeetCode challenge. So far we only solved from day 1 to 5, and we're going to now do today 5 to 10. So the first question we're going to be doing is group anagrams. So given an array of strings, group anagrams together. So we got eat, tea, tan, ate, nat, and bat. So basically anything like with the same number of characters that we can make words out of, we want to combine them into groups. And all inputs will be in lowercase, and the order your input does not matter. So we'll be using JavaScript for this. There we go. And let's see. So let's begin by going into Replit and work together on this. Oops, typo. Okay. Make it a little bigger. Let's begin. So we're going to take this case here, and you want the output to look like that. Okay, so you want to be using an object. So the first thing we want to do is let hash equals to this. I want to make an array here. So now we're going to loop through it. So for let I equals 0, I is this array dot length I plus plus. So you have access to each element. Then we're going to make a variable, let check equal to array at index I. Let's console log this to show what's going on. So if I just do this, it's going to be each element. Okay, dot split. We're going to split at the space. And dot sort. And then dot join on the space, no space. We got that. So now if hash has check and then else let's see. Okay, so if it does not have check, then we're going to do hash at check is going to equal to array at index I. Else, if it does have it, we're going to put this inside an array so it has the output the way we want it. So if it does have it, then we want to do hash check dot push array at index I. And then we want to return, well, let's console log just to show you. Console log hash. So we have our outcomes, but it's in the values. So from here we want to do object dot values, and that's the answer we want. So then we're going to return that. There we go. So now let's copy this and call this array instead. Run code. Okay, finish and submit. Nice. So next we're going to do counting elements. Given an array, count elements x, such as x plus 1 is also an array. If there are duplicates in an array, count them separately. So what you want to do is like 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and 2 is present. 1 and 2 are counted because 2 and 3 are in the array. So basically, if 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, and 1 and 2 is there, so it's counted twice. It's just increasing a counter. And the second one, there's no numbers counted because there's no 2, 4, 6, or 8. Third one, there's 3 of them because 1 and 2 are counted, and 1, 2, and 3 are in the array. Alright, so we're going to begin by setting up Replit for counting elements. So it's just having a counter basically. Put a number of times like the element plus 1 is there in the array. Make this a little bigger. Alright, put the test case. Let's put 1, 2, 3 first. Oops. Okay. We're gonna be using set for this because in the problem it says hint, use a hash set to store all elements, and loop again to avoid to count all valid elements. So we're going to use a set. So we're going to do this. Let set value equal to new set. Okay. We're going to put everything within there. So we console like that. Set value is going to equal to 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then we're going to do a counter, which is equal to 0. Then we're going to loop through it. I is less than array.length. Okay. So now if set value dot has array at I plus 1, we're going to increase the count. Okay, and then we want to return the count. In this case, it's 2. Hold on one sec. Okay. Let's paste this into LeetCode. See if it works. Nice. Submit it. Okay, so far so good. Oh, there it is. Okay. So now we're going to go into the middle of the linked list and work on that one. So given a non-empty singly linked list with a head node head, return the middle node of the linked lists. There are 2 middle nodes. Return the second middle node. Alright. If there are 2 middle nodes, return the second middle node. Okay, and note the number of nodes will be given between 1 through 100. Okay, our input would be 1 through 5. And node 3 from this list, serialization 3, 4, 5. The return node has value 3. The judge serialization of this node is 3, 4, 5. Note that we will return a list node object answer, such as answer.value 3, answer next.value 4, and so on until it reaches null. No 4th in this list. 4, 5, 6. Okay, I see. So this example, like I would like to use, is like the tortoise and the hare. So let's call this mid linked list. Mid LL. Okay, mid LL. And we're going to pass in numbers 1 through 5. Oops. Okay. And let's begin. So this is an example talking about the tortoise and the hare. So we're going to do we're going to call it turtle equal head. Well, it's not going to really look like this, the data type, because if we console log here, it's going to be the linked list. This is just to kind of like see it, the big picture. Because if we console log the head, it's going to be like this. Let's just do it directly here. I'll let turtle equal to head. Let rabbit equal to head. So they're both starting at the initial node. While rabbit exists and rabbit dot next exists, we're gonna let rabbit equal to rabbit dot next dot next, and then we're gonna let turtle equal to turtle dot next, and then we're going to return turtle. All right. So the reason why this works is because the rabbit's always going to be faster. It's going to reach the end of the linked list, while the turtle is going to be behind. And as the rabbit finishes, the turtle's always going to be in the middle of the linked list. All right. So backspace string compare. Given the two strings s and t, return if they are equal when both are typed into empty text editors. Backspace, sorry, the pound sign means the backspace character. So basically, if there C is the pound sign, it will mean that you're pressing backspace on the keyboard. So right here, the input is AB pound sign C, and T is equal to AB pound sign C. So that means B is going to be erased and D is going to be erased, and then together it's going to be A and C. If both of these are equal, return true. I mean, both S and T is equal after the deletion, then it's true. Else return false. So we're going to check out the backspace compare. So let's make a function for that. Okay. Function. And then a value. Hold on. Replet's acting a little weird. Let's just refresh. The plugin crashed. That's okay. Okay. Go back here. Okay. Function. Backspace. And then we're going to pass in the strings. Just to this, string 1, and then string 2. So do S and then T. All right. So let's begin the problem. So backspace compare. So we're going to want to have a helper function with this as well. So what we want to do here is backspace filter, and we can type string. Then we're going to do let string equal to string dot split. Maybe that's not a good name to call it. Let's call it a string array, so we know we're working with an array. And then we're going to do return, let's see, the backspace filter function. And for now, let's just pass an s, just to work with this. Let's console log string array to make sure it's working. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to do str array dot reduce, and we'll be using ACC and element, and we're going to be using an empty array as an ACC. So now we're going to do if element is equal to $, and we're going to do not equal to. If it's equal to, we're going to do acc.pop. Else acc.push element. Then we're going to return acc and return here. So let's test it out. So acc, and we're going to make this dot join to make it back to a string. Whoops. Let's just do this. Let results equal this, and then we're going to do return results dot join. And here, let's see. Perfect. So now we're going to do return this if backspace filter S and T are true, and this should result to true. Perfect. So let's copy, whoops, typo. Let's copy this entire function over, and then we're going to do the return here. Return backspace filter S is equal to backspace filter T. Run code. Okay, finish and submit. All right, so far so good. Next is min stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so design a stack that supports push, pop, top, and retrieving the minimum element in constant time. Push. So we're going to push elements into stack, pop them, top them, and get minimum. So we're going to create functions for each one. So I typed this up earlier. I'm going to put it here and paste it. So this should explain to you what's going on through each of these steps. So here we go. So the first thing this is an ES6 style. So the first thing that's going to happen is that we're going to initialize an array. This.stack, so it's going to initial array. And then we made a function is empty. If this.stack, that's length is 0, it's return true or false. So I abbreviated it to make it easier. So it's this dot stack is this dot stack, and if it's empty, we're gonna push both values into it. Else, we're gonna do the minimum, and then find the minimum between each one. So push, let's say the highest number and then the minimum from the previous. And if it's not empty, if it's empty, just return true or false. Else, we're gonna pop off the entire element, and this will see the top of the stack. So if we paste this into LeetCode, we have to erase this and convert it to ES6. It should return success. Nice. All right. So that's everything for today, and thank you for joining me.